on the,
All right,
oh, okay.
jump over.
I put my note today. I keep smiling. Thank you, Molly.
Perfect. Outstanding. It's tough.
Look at Jimmy B in an action.
Look at that. You're good? It's hard to stand next to the center because it's so tall. I would even on my toes still not as tall. Well, thanks everyone for coming. Happy Wednesday in just the glorious city of Springfield, aka a delightful place to visit in the summer or truly in any time. Mayor, for maybe the 8th or 9th, I don't know how long you've been mayor for a long time. 17 years. I haven't been around for 17 years, but as long as I've been involved, you've been a strong supporter in helping to celebrate organ donation and creating events where we can really bring people together. My name is Matt Boger. I'm here with Jen Cray and Amanda, our staffer from the wonderful hospitals here, Bay State and Mercy, representing the federally designated nonprofit organ procurement organization, New England Donor Services. It is our job each and every day to help save and enhance lives through what I call the true miracle of organ transplantation. We're here today to thank the state of Massachusetts with the partnership of the RMV, with here Jay, who does a wonderful job, and the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, in that we have Billboard here in the great city of Springfield, encouraging people to register and bringing attention to the importance of it and to register at the RMV. The RMV plays an important role in that 98% of all people who register do so through that state agency, both here in Massachusetts, both here in New England, and throughout the United States. The state plays an important role, and that question, would you like to register as an organ donor, is presented to everyone in the country who's getting their driver's license, or ID. That state agency, we have a great partnership. You're the only public health question presented on a state document that way, and we really appreciate that. To date, there's over 103,000 individuals on the waiting list in New England, over 6,000 individuals on the waiting list waiting for their life to be saved. Amanda was sharing with me, which we did an event a few weeks ago. Last month was our most successful month ever of transplantation. We saved more lives last month than we have in any month before. It is New England. Thank you. The wonderful hospitals here in Massachusetts, the wonderful hospitals here in New England, the wonderful staff that we have, with over 315 people strong, are part of that. And more importantly, the wonderful donors whose loved ones lost someone, but realized that their gift saved someone else's life. Those are the people we should be championing. Our motto is donate life. We don't want anyone to lose their life, period. But the opportunity after you pass away to save someone else's life is the true miracle one. There's also the opportunity for living donation, which we can talk about as well, and I know there's individuals here in this community that are touched by it. But again, our focus here is on the billboard, visually getting our message out into the streets. I think there's David Bowie dancing in the streets. We are dancing in the streets, celebrating organ donation. Mick Jagger. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. So maybe the mayor will sing it. I'm not sure we can get him to do that. It's a Wednesday and a Friday. That could be a different thing. But Mayor, thank you so much again for, I'll be honest, your friendship. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for what you do for Springfield. Appreciate your time here, and thanks for saying a few words. Appreciate
Thanks, Matt.
it. Yeah.
Let's give Matt a big applause. As you can tell, Matt is very, very shy and low energy. You can tell. Whatever you should bottle whatever you're doing for energy there. But Matt and to the whole team, thank you very, very much. And it's right on my heart, a donor, and how you can save lives and make for better lives. And right here in this office, this room, Senator Gomez is a shining example of transplant. Missy Crowley, her son, God rest his soul. Attorney Hal Etkin are great representatives of what a donor transplant can do. Stevie Carey, my old halfback, does Focus Springfield on his back. So it's very, very important, and it's simple. When you go to the registry, and the registry does a great, great job, that God forbid something happens to you, you're able to give life or make for a better life for individuals who are in need. You can't put a price tag on that. And your legacy will live on. And as Matt indicated, there also, as you stated, live donors
Donations, sir.
that can be done too. And they had a record month, I think they had 64 in June or something along those lines, or 164 that lives were changed or transformed or saved on it. So I just ask each and every one of you, God forbid, but if something does happen, get that heart on your license, and you'll be able to help out an individual, help out their family, to continue to have their loved one around, whether it's for a long time or a short period of time. And I just thank Matt and for what they've continued to do. And now there's a state campaign with the billboards that are out there. But we've been doing this for many, many years and highlighting. And last thing I'll say, before I came into the room, my wife Carla just called me and said she received a phone call from a dear friend. It's to say thank you, because that friend has received a transplant. And thank you for doing that, because that saved her life. So it does make a huge difference, a huge difference. And you have living examples right here in this room that are going to speak on it. So Matt and to the whole team, thank you very, very much. And get that heart on your license. You'll feel good. Good health, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Mayor, thank you so much. And 17, may there be 17 more years of your wonderful leadership. That is wonderful. So we work very closely with the state of Massachusetts, as we do all states. We don't have any budgetary requests, but we do work with them to help educate individuals. We're so pleased to have a lot of strong advocates on Beacon Hill who are not supporting us, but supporting their community and supporting the idea of life. So we take great pride working with the legislature here, specifically in Springfield and throughout Massachusetts. Senator Gomez, you've been a wonderful leader on many issues, public health being one of them, and thank you being such a personal advocate and a thoughtful leader on this, and thank you for your time on this, and thank you for your great shirt today. You best dressed, so thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you. I want to thank Matt, New England Donor Services. These are one of the organizations that when I fairly got into politics, I haven't missed an event that we've had here at City Hall. Before I even realized that I've ever thought I was going to be a recipient or even thought I was going to go through this ordeal, I always knew how important organ donation is, especially when individuals don't necessarily have the education behind it and understand the importance of that. Some individuals can live with one kidney. Some people can become living donors. I know that we're here exemplifying the awesome work that the RMV is doing. I want to thank the RMV, especially just motivate people that if you're not an organ donor, please, please, please really look into saving someone's life. Unfortunately, after the pandemic, I ended up getting COVID, and then from there, fairly quickly, I lost the functionality of my kidneys, and then from there, I went into emergency dialysis, and when I was on dialysis for 11 months. Fortunately, through the graces of God and obviously the good Lord and my medical professionals, partnering with Bay State and Brigham and Women's in Boston, I was able to obtain a kidney transplant. And since May 4th of this year, so it's been almost a year and 2 months that I received my transplant, and I am absolutely doing fantastic. I am totally indebted to my community for their support, the administration for sending their best regards from the state level all the way down here to the city of Springfield. It's been it's been an eye-opener, so that's why I've partnered with New England Donor Services and other organizations specifically behind studies and ways that we can look into going to communities that are most impacted when it comes to kidney donations, kidney failure, on preventative measures for individuals that, we can do tissue samples and stuff like that to figure out, if they could have a certain DNA that contracts kidney function issues. But outside of organ donations, outside of kidneys, which impacted my life, we know that we have families here that they made the ultimate sacrifice and had to make the hard decision. But in dark times, they saved not one life, but a multitude of lives, because when we lose someone we love and we're an organ donor, or a family that understands what Donate Life is about, you save a multitude of people's lives in different ways. So I just want to thank the families for making that hard decision, because there was a family that made a hard decision so I can be able to live another day for my family, but also for me to be able to serve the city of Springfield and Chicopee and still stay and remain on the Massachusetts State Senate. So with that, I want to thank all of you for being here, members of our media, and obviously I want to thank the administration for always hosting this. Thank you, Mayor Sarno, because this is such of great importance for us to educate our community that has that stigma, regardless of what it is that stops individuals from understanding the importance of organ donation. So that's why I had to be here and make sure that we're telling people that we can save lives, we will save lives, but that also the individuals that we have lost, that they will never be forgotten, and their legacy lives on within other people and other families. So thank you so much. Many blessings to all of you, and thank you for the opportunity for being here. God bless.
Senator, thank you so much for your word. Never forget the legacy of individuals, and it really is paying tribute to the donor. You're more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. Organ donation is very, very rare, and there's more people that need a transplant than there are available organs to be transplanted. But remembering individuals, we don't want anyone to pass away, period, but this opportunity to help save a life and this miracle is wonderful. Thank you so much. And Senator, the other thing you said is about education, educating people about it. This billboard is helping to do that, and the wonderful and poetic words of both you and the mayor help to do that as well. We do have several people speaking. I want to make sure they get an opportunity to speak. One individual who's been well known in this community for years is Hal. Hal, thank you so much for saying a few brief words. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Linda, come to the podium with me. Yes. Who obviously been there during the hard times and such a difficult journey, but couldn't have done it without her. I would like to acknowledge the good people from Bay State Medical and Mercy, who I received excellent care from, Dr. Slosky, head of their heart unit, Dr. Greg Melania, wonderful physicians who really care, and probably one of the best in the country. So if you see them, can you say hi for me? Our wonderful elected officials, the mayor who, fight for Springfield every day, creating a great city. Obviously, the senator who been very active in important issues like organ donation. Now, as somebody who was born in Springfield, educated in Springfield, grew up in Springfield, I was in Bay State West when it opened. I used to be at the Springfield Boys Club, and when you're kind of old school Springfield, it's always in your blood. I think the mayor could kind of acknowledge that. You have it with you. Even if you don't live here anymore, you're still Springfield. So it's great to kind of be here today to speak about organ donation in Springfield. As to my personal story, I was very, very active. I had many jobs. I worked for the city. I worked for the DA's office. I ran the police academy. But in 2014, I was in heart failure. And people say that the heart is the engine of your body. And nothing could be more true, because when that heart decides not to work, everything stops. You can't sleep, you can't walk, you can't even eat. I remember saying to my wife, yeah, eating is stupid. And let me tell you something, as a fan of Red Rose, eating is never stupid. So you know things are dire when you decide that eating becomes a waste of time. But that's what sickness would do for you. Now, fortunately for me, there was a young man from Plymouth, Mass, named Jack Tian, and he was 26 years old when he passed. But prior to his death, he decided that he was going to become an organ donor. And in his mind, he made a decision. He said it would be extremely wasteful, because I have spoken to his father, not to die and let his organs deteriorate in the ground when he could be helping others. And in Jack's case, not only did I get his heart, all of his organs were donated. His liver, his kidney, many people benefited from Jack's decision. And I hope what we can do is take inspiration from Jack's decision to help others, because it's the most important thing you can do. All of us want to make a difference, want to make life better for others. And this is a simple act. You'll probably never be touched by it. But just going to the registry and signing up could make all the difference in the world for someone else. Lastly, I would offer is, through this process, I have become very, very close to Jack's family. In fact, on our vacation this summer, we were in Provincetown. I invited Jack's family to come down, and we spent the day with them. And in tribute to Jack, I don't know if this is a crime, Mr. Mayor, but we planted a rose bush on public property. That's a okay, all right. And I used that story to illustrate not just that I received a heart, but I gained another family. And in terms of this campaign for Billboard, you know, when I had a lot of prior history with law enforcement, and we used to have a saying, how many car accidents does a stop sign prevent? How many accidents does a traffic light prevent? And with terms of advertising, that's the biggest way to influence people. So I'm excited that we have the Billboard campaign, and I hope it's going to encourage people to become heroes themselves. So thank you very much to Jack and everyone else who work hard for organ donation. Thank you.
We might have to talk to Provincetown about that rose bush, but besides that, the idea of living legacy is amazing. I will note that I know Jack's family very well. He was a star wrestler, which my son is as well, so we have a lot of chats about that. Where the rubber hits the road. This is a little bit of why we have this banner, this billboard here, where the rubber hits the road, where people come and view something of significance, where we help educate people about it. Where the rubber hits the road is actually also the RMV, where people register. And you might be taller than the senator, I'm not sure. I'm standing next to a lot of individuals. Jay and the wonderful work that all of the RMV staff do, and Bobby in Springfield and his region as well, and the wonderful registrar, Colleen Ogilvie, who does a great job and a strong partnership. I feel like we are, in a very pleasant way, a family is one of the things that you do each and every day. Jay, thank you for being here and saying a few words. Appreciate that.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I'm Jay DeLisio. I'm the Assistant Registrar for Service Center Operations for the Registry. It's an honor to be here in Springfield speaking on behalf of the Registry. I'm joined today by our Western District Manager, Bobby Robert. The legend of Bobby. This is such a special relationship that we have with Matt and his team. And it's something that we take very seriously at the RMV. I know it means something to the registrar, Colleen Ogilvie, and Bobby does a great job with his team of really celebrating what it means to donate life and what the great responsibility we have at the registry to be asking that one life-saving question: would you like to be an organ donor? Bobby's team in Springfield, it's not uncommon once a month, once every 6 weeks, to have the team dressed up in the blue and the red to celebrate Donate Life. Matt and I have done dozens of these together throughout the state, but in March, my life and my purpose and my viewpoint on Donate Life changed. We lost my wife's brother at 55 years old suddenly. And when we walked in that morning after he passed, the morning he passed, into my mother-in-law's house, she was on the phone with the folks helping her understand what she needs to do because my brother-in-law donated his corneas. So for me to stand up here today as someone who can share some of the stories, and it's great to see you again, it's a true honor. And I walk away every day from these events or when we're talking in the service center saying, somewhere, someone's looking at life through my brother-in-law's eyes. So please remember to talk about the importance of this. You can be the hero. And for all of those who've received, for the family members who've donated, thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your heroism. And Matt, thank you for the great work that you and your team do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Really appreciate that wonderful work that you guys do. And again, most people who register do so through the RMV. One of our great ambassadors, who's a Springfieldian, that's the term, Mary Lou. And Mary, you want to say a few brief words? We'd love to have you, and thank you for your wonderful relationship with the wonderful staff. I will say that registering as an organ donor is a voluntary choice, but it is not a neutral choice. It is presented there, and people can ask that. They can say yes or no, but it is strongly supported both the state and federal government.
As Matt said, I am an ambassador to the Springfield RMV, and I visit at least once a month to thank them for the work that they do, asking people if they want to register to be an organ donor. In 2009, my son John got sick. He was a senior in college. He got sick at school. Second week of school, called me, picked him up, brought him to the doctor. Doctor immediately called 911. He was blue from lack of oxygen. And so for the next 3 years, he went through testing between Bay State Medical Center and Mass General to find out what was wrong. 3 years later, 2012, John received a double lung transplant. It was the day before Thanksgiving. It was the best Thanksgiving we ever had. Unfortunately, 6 years later, we lost him due to complications, and other organs were failing. But without somebody having registered to be an organ donor, we wouldn't have had those 6 years. In those years, he was able to finish college, live on his own, travel, work in his career field, and become the man that he wanted to be. And so every day when I wake up, I'm thankful to that organ donor family, who we never had the pleasure of meeting. But our life wouldn't have been the same without them. And so that's why I go to the registry to thank the staff that works there for asking the question. And that's why this is probably the 5th or 6th time I've been at an event like this in the city of Springfield. The work never stops. It's so important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Lou, for all you do and sharing your story. I know there's proud family members here cheering you on as well. We have 2 more stories to share, which is that people personally touched. And Elizabeth joined us. And another, thank you so much for being here and saying a few words. Appreciate it.
Let's see, a few words. I have one word right now, and that's gratitude. I come from such a deep place of gratitude. A year ago, I'm celebrating 1 year, I received, I'm the grateful recipient of a double lung transplant. Before my transplant, for 7 years, I was dependent on oxygen 24/7. I puffed and puffed trying to get to the bathroom. It was tough. I had my transplant last August. In February, 6 months later, I was out snowshoeing in the Berkshires. I lifted my bowls up and thanked my donor. I just raised my hand to the sky and their family. I just want to acknowledge them, my donor, their family. And a couple months ago, I got on my bike for the first time in a bazillion years. Rode 4 miles. I guess this is all by way of saying organ donation can make such a difference. The past year for me has been a year of just milestones, things I can do that I never, ever thought I'd be able to do again, thanks to the selfless act of a person who wanted to donate and their family. I have a close college friend, 35 years. We've had a couple conversations. In her words, she's always been squeamish, that's her words, but we took a ride together and did some things this past weekend, and she told me that due to our conversations, she's actually put the heart on her license. This is someone I've known for 35 years, so I want to get my story out. I want to encourage and educate. My friend was hesitant due to a lot of myths, so we discussed them, and it's an individual decision, but it was just wonderful to hear that that's what she decided. And I just want everyone to know that I am a living example of how much of a difference it can make, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. You, it's the 1 year and
1 year, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 1 year and 2 weeks. In a bazillion years, a long time not riding a bike. I love that coming back here. And lastly, we have another one of our wonderful volunteers, individual who's a veteran, individual who's part of the Lions Club, individual who is the owner of the envious Batmobile / Donate Life Mobile, no stranger to Springfield, Glen Wiley. Glen, thank you for being here. I appreciate that.
So my story is in, all right, my story is in 2015, I was diagnosed with liver cancer. I had been in a study, and they had told me if I had hepatitis C, that was the reason for my liver cancer, and they had told me if it turns to liver cancer, that's it, you're done. So fortunately, that wasn't true, because 9 years later, I stand here. I was running a little late today. Thank you, because as they call it, my Batmobile, I just spent 3 days at the track in Tamworth, New Hampshire, driving the Batmobile way past the speed limit, but it's okay, it was on a private track. But organ donation touches people in so many ways. Just because I was just up at the track, there's this wonderful driver I know, he and his father, his name is Jake. He's 15 years old. He sees my trailer. I have Donate Life all over my car trailer. And he had a very heart-to-heart conversation with me, asked me all about it, and then told me that when he got his license, he was going to sign up to be an organ donor. And it brought tears to my eyes. You know, no one ever wants anyone to become an organ donor. But one of the very important things that I learned from a donor family is make sure, let your family know your desires. You know, signing up is the best way to do that. Then everyone knows your desires. But organ donation is so important. It touches so many lives. Senator Adam Gomez, I remember standing here years ago at an event just like this, and him coming over whispering in my ear, going, I think I may need an organ transplant. So you never know whether you're going to need one, and you never know if a tragedy strikes. So just sign up. The registry is a great place. Bobby knows everyone in Springfield, everyone that I ever knew in Springfield. If I ask him, he knows them. But go to the registry, sign up. It's easy. Thank you very much.
Nice job, Glenn, as always. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your work as a veteran. Thank you for your work as a Lions. Thank you for your work as humanitarian supporting this effort. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Mayor. We know you have very busy schedules to make time to do this. Senator, I know that you and the legislature are dealing with the budget. This take time from your busy work to do this means a lot. I say this often, but and as the mayor said, I want to thank the media for bringing attention to this. This was part of our effort as well to help educate individuals in all venues, the Billboard, social media, TV, radio, social events, tabling, working with driver education schools, working with high school, working with colleges, working with graduate schools, working with medical schools, working with nursery schools. You name it, we will be there. Education is the key. As Senator said, this event here is about education and having people do that. So, again, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? It does if there's people that help celebrate that. I need to call out specifically the people behind this podium, but behind the TV. Stephen, thank you so much for your wonderful help and leadership. I know that you've got stories yourself, but you helped. We were going to be outside sweltering, and you helped do this. So I really appreciate your time doing this as well as everyone else. So this is a great summer day. Make sure you enjoy everything. Before you leave Springfield, there's a lot of things to do here, but I would like one more picture with our billboards. Thanks, everyone, for being here, and happy Wednesday. Appreciate it.